All right, guys, Tony here. If you can let me know that you can hear me clearly and you can see the screen, then we can get started. Great, thank you, Kim. All right, I've got some good news and bad news. Bad news is that we had kind of lost our internet since Saturday night until last night. So I did get a checklist done, but I haven't managed to get it onto the Chrome store yet. But there's something I can give you as far as like a Google Doc for now, and we can get the Chrome extension put into Chrome store hopefully today, but sometimes we have to wait for 24 hours for them to approve it. Okay, but we do have the checklist, it's just not in the Chrome extension yet. So that's the bad news and the good news. All right, so with the tool as well, we've added the ability that if you go to post, if you click on here to post, you can see this is here now, this create AI article before posting. This is similar to what we've got with the new Medium poster as well. You don't have to use that, okay? You don't have to use that for either the Medium or the Google sites if you bought the Medium. It was kind of advertised, it was kind of, that was the angle that, you know, the first auto blogger that works with AI. I think that really affected the sales, but because we lost the internet, I still haven't managed to change the angle on that sales page and stuff yet. So I kind of lost a whole day's work yesterday, and I need to go back and fix that. But it's the same tool that we've got here as what we put into the Medium blog poster, where you can, if you want, do bulk posting with the AI content. This is actually a better platform for this. Google Sites is a much better platform for that than the Medium one, in my opinion. And because it just lends itself to mass page building in a much better way. Whereas Medium's kind of restricted to 3 posts per day. You can still do mass page building, but it's going to be staggered. But with the Google Sites, you can do as many as you want, really. You can just go and blast away all you want. The only problem with that is you have to buy credits for that particular service. And there is no service that I'm aware of that is one-time cost that does AI content, like articles for one-time cost. I'm not aware of any. If you do know of any, let me know. If they have an API key, we can add it. But it's there as an extra option. It's not necessary, but it's there as an extra option, okay? So let me just, I'm going to close these tools because sometimes they can actually freeze my computer when I'm using Camtasia. All right, so if you've got any questions, I will answer them as I can get to the questions. I've got some basic stuff to go through first. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. The software updates I've just kind of told you. Now there's other things I want to add in as well, both to the Google and the Medium posters. I've been looking at keyword tool options so that people can use keyword tools. I was looking for free options, and the only free options that we've really got is the Google Keyword Planner. Also, Bing have a tool as well. Bing's tool is actually quite good. It's okay. It's not terrible, and we can work easily with the Bing keyword tool as well. So we're going to try and pull that in using the Bing API. So you just use your own API key for Bing. That will make it, or Microsoft Ads as it's called now, that will make it that you can pull in keywords that people are searching for with the search volume and cost per click and all that kind of basic stuff that you can use. Okay, so that's not a terrible option. It will just give you some ideas to keep you on track when you're doing your campaigns, and you can use that for your bulk posting as well. If you want to check box like 10 or 20 or 600, you can do that and just put it into the keyword builder tool, the long tail alpha tool. So we will try and add that over the next sort of 2 days. And also I came across this for Ubersuggest. Now this is a free tool. You can use this free, but I didn't realize that they had actually added a lifetime option. And here you can get the lifetime of this for $120 for anybody who's interested. Just go into Ubersuggest. You can click on the plans and pricing. And when you come down, you can see they've got some options now for purchasing For lifetime, they've got lifetime options. Where is it now? I just bought it myself just before we came in the webinar. I was kind of shocked that they were offering that for lifetime option. It's in here somewhere. I'm not going to go looking for it right now, but you can find it if you search. Okay, so that's a very, very good option. They don't have an API key though, so we're not able to sort of integrate with them, which is a bit of a pity, because I would, if we could, that was one I would definitely integrate with if I could. Okay, right now, the done for you service options, let me show you what's happened here. This is interesting. So I hired a guy to do some surfer SEO articles. Good news is he did a really, really good job. Bad news is he's really slow. He's not fast. It's not something we can sell as a service from him anyway. I need to keep on searching for a good alternative. His quality is good, but the speed is not there. I gave him 3 articles to do over, well, it was last Saturday or Sunday, something like that. And he, Saturday to Sunday, my time, I'm like 12 hours ahead of New York or something like that. But he's taken until today to deliver the first article. I've only got 1 out of 3 so far. So the content is good, but it's just not suitable. Here it is. It's not suitable for being able to resell as a service. So I'll just keep on looking for other options for now. But you can see he's done a very, very good job here. He's planned it all out. I don't like the pictures much. We can get rid of those. But again, so all of that content is done. He's done it nicely, just too long. I'll talk to him. Maybe he can find a way to speed it up. Maybe he can train some people, but I don't have high hopes for that. Whenever I see that kind of situation, there's not really much you can do about it. I think the guy's just overstretched himself probably. Okay, so that's maybe. Also, I'd ordered a 2,000 word article. So what I think might work the next time I try to get someone is tell them like 500 word articles. I think we can work with 500 word articles, because when we are creating these pages, if we always have something at the top here that is like a call to action area, okay, and then you've got some videos and stuff like this. This is where you can put the 500 words. 500 words might be okay, or just an FAQ section or something that's got 500 words. That would be okay to begin with. That would be okay to get started with. That would be, you know, acceptable as far as the amount of content to put on there initially. And it's just a pity I can't. There's nothing we can do about this. I can't make the guy work faster. He's probably got a ton more orders coming from other people, but I tried to get him to build this exactly the way I wanted, and he's done that. It's way too slow. We can't resell it. It's just not there yet. And the other one I tried was Google stacking. Now this is interesting. This we can do some tweaks to this, and we can make it better. Okay, if you go to anywhere like Fiverr.com, you will find people selling these kind of services. The key is to do it properly. The key is to be able to do it in a way that is going to make a difference. It's going to move the needle as far as the SEO is concerned. So this is basically a Google site that's being created, and you can come down here. If I click on this here, you can see this section here. If I click on this, you can see he's created a Google Drive, which is probably made public, and he's got some Google Docs and Google Sheets, etc., and the Google site. Come down a little bit more, and you can see he's got links here to go to my original Google site. You come down a bit more, and you can see again we've got these documents. They're embedded. Now this is what we seen last week, that I showed you last week, if you remember. Let's see if I can find it, if I've still got it on the other. Oh, I know what I did. Let's bring this over. It's a Crypto Suite demo. Remember this one from last week? Crypto Suite demo. He's ranking. Okay, you can see he's done exactly the same thing. This is the guy sitting there, number 1 or something. And he's done exactly the same thing. You can see he's got his embedded documents and embedded links. He's done very, very similar. This guy this week has done very, very similar. And what that means is that we can take this and we can run with it, but none of this is ranking yet. That means that it needs backlinks. Essentially, that's what it means. It needs something to move the needle. It's one thing to have it done. It might start ranking, but it might take some time. It could be a situation where it takes days or weeks or even, up to 3 months sometimes. But there's things that we can do now at this point, once we've got the content, that we can speed it up. And that really means just backlinking. So we need to look at backlinking strategies. I got them to do 2 of these. You can see I've got one for the ClickFunnels and I've got one for the crypto arbitrage. And both of them are linking to my original ones. Now, here's the good thing about this, is that instead of doing the surfer SEO content, you can actually start with this. And that means that you can actually get this done with these Google accounts, with this content already. It's got a lot of content, really. Tons and tons of content in here. And that can be your homepage. Okay, that can be your homepage. You don't need to link out to another Google site. You can actually use this as your Google site that you start mass page building from. Okay, and that is a better alternative in my opinion. Okay, because the surfer guy, as good as he is, you can't wait a week, not for one article. If we had orders for even just 10 people for one article, that might take up to 10 weeks. There's just no way we can do that. There's just no way that we can even support that kind of situation. It's just not been able to work with it. But this is a good option here. This is a very, very, very good option here. So I'm going to talk to the guy before I put it out as a service, and I'm going to make sure that we can do some extra bits and pieces as well. Okay, we want to add in some backlinks, and we're going to be working on the backlink strategies by poking and testing. Basically, we're sculpting it. Okay, we don't know what works until we test and see, but we got multiple things that we can test and see until we find something that moves the needle. So what I will do with this is I will talk to him and make sure that he can scale that up, and then we will look at the backlinking options that we got as well. Then we can test on these first couple that I got, and plus I will order some more just for the purpose of testing. Once we've got the answers to that, it should be pretty quick that we can roll it out, and that will come basically with backlinks. So that would basically, if we figure out which kind of backlinks, what amount of backlinks kind of approximately is needed, what kind of packages is needed, then we can probably do this really fast with the backlink packages included in an all-in-one package, where you're pretty much, it gets predictable about the ranking. I'm not going to say you're pretty much guaranteed rankings. I'm going to say it's more predictable with the rankings, because if we've already tested it, then we will test it on more than one site once we see that it's working. And that means that by the time we roll it out, it's going to be far, far more predictable that we can get rankings. So this can take us to a different level. Now, if you put that in combination with the mass page building, then we got something really that we can work on and we can start to take advantage of, especially when it comes to the high ticket stuff. Okay, the high ticket stuff is everything that we want to try and do here. Okay, whereas the medium.com, that kind of stuff can be sort of less competitive keywords, but here with the Google sites, we need to be doing the more competitive stuff, because this is what it lends itself to. This is what we've seen just with the ranking proofs that that we've seen within the search engines. Okay. Something else I noticed as well, I tried to show you this last week on Sunday, or Tuesday, and I completely went past this. These rankings here for that crypto suite demo, if you ever look down here, you will see I've got a video here. Now that video started ranking almost straight away almost. And that video is basically this video here. I copied it and I uploaded it, okay? And within minutes, we were ranking and we never lost our ranking. What we did lose, and I'll tell you how I did this, it's kind of interesting. I did 177 high retention video views, okay? Using one of our tools, a new tool that's going to be released, it's called Serpatech. And basically we lost those views very, very quickly, but we got the rankings, and the rankings never moved. Even when they removed the views from the video, it never removed the rankings. That's really interesting. It's kind of it's interesting in a way that even if they've removed it, that's specific to youtube.com, but the ranking factor for google.com was high retention. Okay, there's high retention rate on the video. Now you can go and buy this kind of thing. You can go and buy it on fiverr.com and stuff like that, but believe me, I've tested. Some of those services are really bad, really, really, really bad. We tested, I don't know how many, it was definitely more than 10, probably somewhere between 15 and 20, no, about 12 and 15 maybe, different services. And I found these services on places like fiverr.com, SEO Clicks, Legit is another one. What's the other one? The one that I've forgotten the name of it. There's about 4 or 5 different of those gig sites, and plus some marketplaces like Black Hat World, Best Black Hat Forum, those kind of places. And what I found was some of the most popular services had an average watch time of 11 seconds. Seriously, 11 seconds, and they were charging like $15. So what they're doing is they're getting a bunch of orders coming in, and because they want to get rid of those orders pretty quickly, this is just what I think they're doing anyway. They're just moving them as quickly as possible. They're getting the view counts up, but there's no retention there, even though they're advertising it as high retention. This is not high retention when they're doing that. It's actually really dangerous because yes, you will get more views, but because people are coming into the video then bouncing straight back off, then you know that's negative SEO. That's how you could negative SEO somebody, by doing that. Whereas with this, I was able to set the retention rate with this. I set the retention rate for 90%. So my 177 views, we did at 90% retention, and we did it at 2x speed. Okay, we can put the settings in the software to do like 2x speed, and rankings are still there, which is pretty crazy. Now, if you did this for local SEO kind of stuff, I'm pretty sure that would work as well. And I'll try and test that for Remember this week, but I've got quite a lot to catch up on because I lost it. Not just today, this week, we lost quite a bit of time because we're trying to do these launches once a week, and it's getting the system right. It's getting into a routine where we can do that stuff and plus still do some other stuff as well. So anyway, yeah, that's a good thing to remember, is that if you can do the high retention views, there's multiple ways to do it with that software as well. You can go to like micro worker sites. There's a website called Pico Workers, P-I-C-O, picoworkers.com. You can get people to do that over there, and just pay like, I think it was about 5 or 7 cents per view or something like that. So you choose how many views. The important thing is if you're going to get high retention, you don't need to do high volume. Okay, you can do for much less, whereas these guys were selling like $15 1,000 video views. I only used 177 here, high retention, and it's still sitting there. Even though the views were removed from YouTube, I still got my rankings, which is pretty incredible. So anyway, it's a good lesson there for everybody to understand. And this is why we do testing. This is why we're always poking and prodding and trying to find out what works, so that we've got those takeaways that we can use in different situations. And there's not one thing that's going to work for everything that we use every single time. We just have a collection of them building our knowledge base of things that work, so that we can pull out what we need in different situations if we have the answers. And more often than not, the more you can test and do that kind of stuff, you will get those answers and you will have them in your toolbox to use whenever you need. Okay, so it's kind of interesting stuff there. All right, so you can see this one as well. This is quite nicely done, the ClickFunnels one. I mean, these are good to begin to start off with. So it's a better solution than the Surfer SEO. What you can do as well with this kind of thing, if you had this done, say for example, you go over to fiverr.com yourself and you go and find somebody to do this kind of stuff, you could have this done, and then you can find someone else on Fiverr to tell you how to optimize it better by using stuff for SEO, or you can put the article into stuff for SEO yourself and it will tell you how to optimize it better. If you're using other tools like Upsuggest has a similar kind of thing where you can find a content gap, and any tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush, they've usually got a content gap tool. What that is going to tell you keywords that other competitors are ranking for on the top page of Google, first 10 results, and it will tell you those keywords that you might want to incorporate into your own content. That's basically what Surfer SEO is doing as well, I believe. And this is how you can use that as well. So you could, automate all of that. You could get to the Surfer SEO kind of optimization by doing that step. But this is a good way to start because they're creating your Google account. So if you have one of these for one topic or one affiliate offer, then this is a good way to start it. I think this is perfect for starting it, and you can plan them ahead of time as well. It might take 3 or 4 days to get it back if the guy is busy, but it's coming, and you can still work on the other ones while you're waiting for that. If you get maybe order 3 or 4 at a time, you could be ahead of time, or just order one at a time and wait till it comes through and work on it, and order the next one before the first one is finished, so that you just keep it like a conveyor belt and keep them knocking up. Okay, but I would focus on one and get it ranking and get it moving and get it so that the traffic is coming in at least. And once you've got the traffic coming in, it's just testing and tweaking to see the offer. Okay, so that brings me back to the slides. Let's come back over here. Okay, so what I want to cover, I'll cover this backlink stuff with the next, in here. Okay, so what I want to cover is basically for the backlinking strategies that we're going to be using. Okay, this week I will find out a lot more just by doing the testing. Now that I've got those back, now I got these two, the Google stacking ones. I had ordered from another guy and he cancelled the order, so then I had to go and order from another guy, which was quite a bit more expensive, but I wanted to get it ready for this webinar so that we had something that we could look at. And I didn't even check in there to see if I got it until today, okay, because I thought I was going to go and do that yesterday, but I've not been able to do any backlinking to check it yet. But here's what we're going to do this week. There's 3 things I really want to try, and these are the 3 things I think can work. Okay, so first of all is get a press release done. Now I've got access now. Something I've been trying to figure out for a long time is how these big press release companies like Newswire and MarketWire and Press Advantage and some of these other big ones, the ones that are charging like $300 for 10 press releases in 1 month. I've been trying to figure out where they're getting it from. And I kind of found out a couple of companies, but you need to put down like $20,000 or something to be able to even get started with them. So I've been looking around, and this has been not just in the past week or something. This has gone back for quite some time, months, years probably. And I've been trying to find a way that we can get access to that kind of quality of press release where we don't have to pay like a monthly fee of $297. Okay, finally I found it. I found a way to do it. And what we're going to do is we're putting this together, and we're going to put this as a service as well. I mean, it took me forever to find this. I've been really looking for a long time. And that means that we can get these press releases and buy them one-off when we want at the same prices as what it costs people who are buying 10. Okay, so instead of paying like $297 a month for 10 press releases, and your credits expire if you don't use all 10. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation there if you're using something like Newswire. Well, we can get them now for $29 as and when we want. Okay, we don't buy credits, we don't lose credits. You need one, you buy it, $29 perfect, okay? And that's my resale price as well. That's my resale price. It's for 400 backlinks, and it's got Google News and everything included. This is really good. This is really, really, really good. This is a major find that we've got now. So having this gives us a massive option, because one of the biggest ranking factors is the number of referring domains. This is the quickest and easiest way possible to be able to increase the number of referring domains, and you can do it with one piece of content. Okay, just one piece of content. The only thing is that $29 price point doesn't include the writing. You have to get the writing, and we're not going to offer any writing. You have to go and find someone maybe on Fiverr.com. I can recommend them. And the reason I don't want to do it is because I don't want to be the go-between in between of you and a writer. So if he's done something that, or written something you want changed, I don't want to be in the middle of that. We've done the work of finding how to get this kind of quality press release at this price. You need to deal with that guy and then, or that girl, and then you give me the press release afterwards, and then we can submit it, right? And that way you can get really high quality press releases for $29. This is a major deal, guys. This is really good. And you will see as you start to use it how powerful that is. It's one of the most powerful ways to get traffic. Everybody thinks it's about the backlinks, but press releases, they get traffic. They really do get a lot of traffic. When we first realized that, we were using Newswire at the time. This has gone back a few years, and there's someone called Holly Starks. Most of you into SEO will know her. I helped her get her first product done. I gave her the first webinars. She wasn't even sure after the first couple of webinars whether she was going to make a product. And because we had her on for a couple of webinars, we kind of got her to see that there was a huge interest in what she was teaching, or what her methods were. So she did get started, and we sent a press release at that particular time. That press release got over 1 million hits. Got over 1 million hits. So people start to think about press releases only for the SEO value. That's not correct. The real value of press releases is in traffic. It's in traffic. There is a lot of traffic to be got from that. So that Newswire press release had over 1 million hits, which is pretty incredible when you think that SEO is just a tiny little niche in the internet. And it's very cliquey kind of niche as well. Everybody knows who each other is. It's not a massive kind of niche. That's why I laugh at these people walking about like they're rock stars or something. They don't realize it's such a tiny little environment that, you know, it's hard not to be if you're doing any kind of product creation. And when we saw the numbers of that press release, I was convinced that this wasn't real. I was convinced this was bullshit. And we, you know, there's just no way that you can lie within the Newswire system. So I had the guy who had done the press release for me. I had him refreshing the page on the webinar when we were showing people, just to see that it was real. It was real that we had like 1 million views. So press releases, they can be hugely powerful. And this is a good service. We will release this week, and it will be $29. I will give you the people that you can order writing from, but you have to deal with them yourself. I'm not going to be a go-between if you want anything changed within your articles or stuff like that. You have to do that yourself. Give it to me with the order, and we can post it straight away. Okay, that's a very big thing. The Google Stacks is something we will offer as well. Okay, now the Google Stacks, I've just shown you what they look like, but Google Stacks with backlinks is the key. Okay, Google Stacks with backlinks. It could be something like press releases. It could be something as simple as just getting a whole bunch of edu and gov links or something like that. We don't know until we test. Now, I've got some theories of what I think will work well, but I'm going to test them before I sort of let that information out, because if we get it right, then it's something I don't want to share far and wide. Okay, it's something that I want to keep within the sort of customer base, so that we can kind of increase the longevity of it as long as possible. It will always get out, always, but we can sort of delay that sort of leak of information. Now, there's another two services that we have already, you know, had started for quite some time, and I think these are important, and I think these can work very well with this. Okay, here's why. Okay, I'll go to this first one first. It's called Content Sync. Okay, or traffic links, as I call them. Now this service, I put it back to its original price, $17.50. There's a 20 site blast in here now. If you come down in here and go to the About Packages, it will tell you all the sites that we post into. Okay, and when you're looking at these sites, what's important to understand is that these sites have traffic. A lot of these sites have traffic. We've got from Quora.com a lot of traffic. We get from forums traffic. We get from medium.com traffic. We can get from Google Sites traffic as well. The thing about this is if we keep putting them into places where there is some traffic already there, we're not just doing backlinks for the sake of backlinks, but there is some traffic already there, then there's a good chance, like Reddit as well, can have a lot of traffic. And it's all done manually as well. It's not automated in any way. I've just got a guy who does this for me. He's pretty quick as well. It takes him about 2 days to do it. But that traffic can give you SEO signals, engagement signals, okay? Because if somebody clicks through from, say, Quora.com, for example, and they come into your Google site and they spend some time there, that is, you know, the time spent on the site or time spent on the page, etc., can increase can improve your SEO. Okay, next one here is the content, video contents, and this one, all we need from this one is just a video, like a YouTube video. You just give us the URL. Here's what we do with this. Okay, these are bespoke services. I find these guys who are offering these kinds of services, right? And I tell them what I want, and basically I get these custom bespoke services. This one will take your video URL from YouTube. That's all you give us. We will take the MP3 from it. We will put it into 20 audio sites. We will take the thumbnail from it. We will put it into 20 image sites. Okay. We will take the description from it. We will turn it into a PDF and put it into 20 document sites. We will take the video itself and we'll put it into 20 video sharing sites. Okay, so that's like 80 links all at one time. And that's a very, very good service because all of those kind of websites, they've all got like high domain authority, etc. Okay, and this is a very, very good way to do it. It's the easiest thing, easiest service ever for somebody who wants to order, because all you need to do is say, here's my YouTube video. What we will do is we will put a link to the YouTube video and put one more link, which is going to be to your Google site. Okay, so that way we're doing some second-tier linking to your video, and we're also linking to the Google site, which can absorb those kind of links. So that's a very, very, very good service. So we will test that with the Google stacking. I haven't done it yet, but we will definitely test that. It's a good service, that one. And these are good, you know, as far as well thought out services that are they're designed specifically for a purpose, like the traffic links are designed so that we're basically getting backlinks from websites that have got traffic, where we can take advantage of that traffic, where we know there's already an audience there that we can get our content found. So it's not just a backlink. And the second one is just content syndication with high DA sites, so that we can get those backlinks to both your Google site and to the YouTube. Okay, so that's what we're going to be testing this coming week. Okay, so that's basically what that is. So I think what to do now is I'm going to show you this document here, and this will be the Chrome extension. This is what the Chrome extension will have in it when we've got it approved and done. Okay, so this is just going through your different options that you can use, and you checkbox the ones that you want. For example, Google stacking you can get done, or you can create your own and make a landing page, etc. I'm just giving you some options here so you can see as you're going through expired domain strategies. We could not automate that. We tried to automate that. I think, or I have a theory that Google just wants you to buy from their domain buying service. They have got a domain buying service like Namecheap and GoDaddy as well. I think they're basically forcing people to go and buy from them. Purchase the domains from them. So we can still do the custom domain, but we cannot for the life of us get that custom domain sorted. Okay, we just cannot get it sorted. We've tried automating it. We've tried it with the API. It's not working. The easiest possible way is just to buy your custom domain in Google Domains as you're going through. So if you're in here, for example, let's see if we've got one that I'm already logged into or not. I just have to open one up. This one. Okay. In here. You just follow the process, and instead of adding a third-party domain, you just buy it from in here. But we can still do the 301 redirects from anywhere. All right, John, what are the links to order for service 1, service 2 for this? Then what we would do is you can see the sales page. When you click on it, the sales page will tell you what you're getting. When you have paid, then you will be taken to a form. And with the form, you will fill in the details, okay? All you really need is to have a place that you're going to link to, okay? You don't need any content for that. You can add your own content if you want. And the video content's in, you just tell us where you want to link to. Best thing to do with the video content send is link back to your YouTube video and link to one other place. Whatever place you're linking to from your YouTube video description, oh sorry, whatever place the second place you're linking to, say for example, a Google site, you want to put that link in your YouTube video description as well, okay, to get the best out of it. That's what we find anyway. That's a very good service. The traffic links, it's a very good service. I still want to improve it a little bit. I want to tighten up, and I want to probably put in more forum posts and take out some, okay, so that we keep it around 20. We don't really need more than 20. What we want to do is just make sure that we've got it in places where there's more traffic, and the closer we can get to niche traffic, the better, so that you can get more sort of follow through with the traffic, etc., onto your pages, onto your content. Then the best way to do that is communities, forums, anything like Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups, and where else we can get communities from. Forums is just the easiest way to do it, where you've got ready-made audiences basically. Okay. So yeah, let's come back in here. So for if you want to do the custom domain, you can click on that gear. You go to the custom domains. Now at this particular time, this sort of juncture here, you can buy the domain or you can choose to use a third party. Now I've tried that multiple times. My coder's tried it, and he's a techie guy, and they're still not letting us do it even with the API. It's probably easier that you just go and buy the domain from here, okay, from the Google domains, and do the 301 redirect domain from Namecheap or GoDaddy or something like that. Might even be better to do it like that. And that way, whatever you've purchased from what you found on Spamzilla or similar, it's just another way of doing it. You just have to add the Google domains, okay? So that way it can work. This is the same slides as last week. I thought you guys had them, sorry. Let me just share with you. It's the same slides as last week. It's exactly. I just added an extra few slides at the end. There you go. I send it on the questions, and I've sent it in the chat as well. Should have access. Still not seeing people come in yet. Usually you can see these little icons up here when people start to come in. Let me know if you can access it. Yeah, here we go. There we go. All right. So anyway, I'll just scroll down here and I'll pick out anything I think is really important. I'm not going to go through all of it because that would just become robotic and boring. But I'll pick out the ones I think is really important. Okay, this one here I've got here for what is your goal. You've got to kind of understand what your goal is going to be. For example, you're going to be product specific with your Google sites. If you're doing this for affiliate marketing, which I will be doing, or if you're doing it for local marketing, you can do it in two ways. You can do it in a way that's going to be topic related. So for example, if I want to do product related like ClickFunnels as a ClickFunnels affiliate, like that guy did with his WordPress site that is ranking for 700 keywords, which basically is why we built the Google Sites poster after I'd seen that. His was product specific. His was product specific as in for ClickFunnels, whereas you could do it just like more broad, more general, like sales funnels software or webinar software instead of just, you know, Demio or something like that, where you can focus not just on one product, but you can interchange different products. You can recommend other products as well. And it fits in. That means that you're not stuck to one particular sort of affiliate program. Okay, that would just give you that flexibility if you did it like that. Either way, you know, it can work. You just have to decide for yourself. If it's a really competitive, like ClickFunnels, probably better that you go for ClickFunnels, but not always. Affiliate programs are like that. Sometimes you've got good opportunities to, say, for example, webinars. You could be doing one for webinar platforms. There's a whole bunch of those. There's EverWebinar, there's Webinar Jam, there's Demio, there's a whole bunch of those. HQ Webinar, there's a whole bunch come out in JVZoo as well. So you could, you know, put in those ones, but I would go for the higher ticket ones. I wouldn't go for the JVZoo kind of ones. What we're looking for there. See, the thing about the affiliate marketing like this is actually a good point. Should really cover this. When you see these guys that are doing their review posts, when they are doing the weekly or the daily promotions from the Warrior Plus and JVZoo kind of launches, usually they're, you know, like doing one a day, and they're creating these review posts, and they're doing stuff like, you know, the product name and review. Okay, that's not how I would do this. Okay, you've got to understand as well that there's a whole bunch of people that start the journey without knowing that name. Now, it's good to have that sort of customer intent that far down the road, that they're looking at the product name plus review, or product name plus demo, or product name plus bonus, etc., because they're kind of that far down the buyer cycle. The thing is, these people that are searching for these product launches that are coming, they're only searching because they've got an email. It's not that they had started that customer journey like way before, like, or I was looking for a webinar platform. Sometimes, or most of the time for these buyers, in my opinion anyway, what's from my own experience, I should say, is that you see the email coming in and you go and buy it. I remember once, as an example, there was one for podcasting. It was a tool for podcasting. Now, I was not looking for a tool for podcasting. I was not doing any research at all for tools for podcasting. I got an email came through. It was for a tool called Audello. I looked at it and I ended up buying it for about $197 or something at the time. And that's just one of those kind of things that you get with those kind of product launches. So at that point, you might go and search for like Audello review or something like that. But if you weren't looking for it originally, then, you know, that's coming from the email that you get from these affiliates. But here's the thing about this: there is a whole bunch of people who are searching for those kinds of keywords, who are searching for the best webinar platform, who are searching for the best automated podcast platform software or wherever it might be. So what I suggest you do there is that you can include the product name if you want, but if you put in the type of product that it is as well. So you could say, for example, Audello, best podcasting syndication tool. So that would be podcasting syndication tool that people might be searching for. Do some keyword research and find what they're searching for, or best webinar platform, that kind of thing. If you put in the type of product that it is instead of just the name, so that when you can catch the people who have started the journey, but or just starting the journey, I mean, as well as those that actually know the name. So that way, when you're using things like Google Sites, where we know that we can get rankings, then it's a matter of taking advantage of the power of Google Sites by putting in that sort of broader keyword, that more broader keyword, in the sense that we're not targeting just, you know, some buyers from other people's email lists. What we're doing is we're targeting people who are actually going onto Google every single day and searching for information about podcasting or webinars or whatever that product type may be. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Oh, Corey, I'll put it into the, it's in the slides. You can get the slides when you're home anyway. We will put this into a page somewhere, these replays. What I did last week is I re-recorded it. I hated last week's webinar. A lot of the time with me, if I'm staying up all night because I want to get ready for a webinar, or I'm kind of worried that I might sleep in or something like that, then by the time the webinar comes, I'm not as good with the delivery as what I probably could be, and I felt like that last week. So I just recorded it all, but it came out much better, I believe. As far as the delivery was concerned, hopefully it made a lot more sense as well. So there's about 4 different parts from that webinar in the member area. So you can check in there later. We will embed the slides as well that you can see, and you can get the links. Okay. Right. Okay. So I think let's just carry on with this. If anybody's got any questions, let me know. We don't have so many people on this week or today. What I did last week is I kind of auto-registered everybody who purchased from Warrior Plus. But the second webinar, I didn't auto-register because people just get blind to these webinar notifications coming in, or they might sort of mistakenly think, oh, I won't come on this webinar, I'll get the next one, sort of thing. So I didn't put this one onto the automation. I've made this one you had to sign up separately. So we've got less people. That means we can probably take more questions and be a little bit more specific. Can I work for pay-per-call programs? Somebody asked me, possibly it was you, asked me that on the support desk. I don't know how you integrate pay-per-call. That's some technology that I don't really understand how to use. If they give you something that you can integrate, then you're going to find you've got options over here. So you've got embed, for example. So you can put in an embed code. So if you've got some kind of HTML embed code that you get from your affiliate program, then you'd be able to do that. Okay. You need to talk to them and see if you can get an HTML code. You can see here. That way, then you can put an HTML code in multiple places. Okay, you've also got this smart bar, or announcement bar as they call it, at the top here as well. But that's just going to be a link that you can put in here. Whether that's a link that can go to make a phone call, I don't know. You need to talk to your affiliate programs for that. Okay, I don't know that technology. I don't do the offline lead generation kind of stuff. That's not something that I couldn't answer honestly on that particular question. But talk to the affiliate programs that you're working with, and usually they're very, very helpful. They have a whole bunch of different tools that you can use. Okay. Speak to them and tell them you can embed. Ask them if they got something with an HTML embed, or if there's something that you can reach that you can use just with a single link that you can put up here. Okay, plus you can put all these areas together here. You can just put in your embed thing here, You can put some bold, like click here to click to call or whatever. If they have an HTML embed, that's how you do it. You just click on this and that will add it into your, if I click on that and you put it in your code and you click on next, it's going to basically embed that into your page, and then you can move it up and down. Okay. Does Google Sites have advertising banners? Not as such. It's the same situation I've just explained to. I can't pronounce your name there. It's the same situation as here. You've got an embed. You can put an embed code in here. So if you've got some HTML for like an affiliate banner, you could probably put that in there. Let's see if I can find one. I've actually got one open here, I think. Let me just check it. I was going to do a post for super affiliate system from John Crestani, but not just the post for that, but alternatives. And the best alternative is a guy who's doing like like real case studies, and he's a bit of a, you know, he's very, very experienced with the CPA kind of marketing stuff. He might be good with the cost per lead kind of thing as well for the offline. And he's got a membership called Powerhouse Affiliate. You spend like $19 for the first month, and then you can pay like $47 a month after. But every single week he's doing case studies. It's like real case studies, how he sets it up, how he gets monetized, and you can see everything over the shoulders. This guy's very, very good, and it's much, much better than paying $5,000 to the super affiliate system, which is just like, here is how you set up a Facebook pixel, and here's how you did it. This is better. This guy does everything. He will show you how to set up Click Magic, but do it there and then in the campaign that you eventually see being monetized right in front of you. Much, much, much better. I like that kind of thing. So I wanted to do like a super affiliate system alternative kind of post and put this guy's information in here. So let's just see if I can find a banner ad from him. Okay, I've got some source code here. Put this in here. And that's just a link. We need a banner. Come on, give me a banner, please. Let's try this one. Let's click on cancel. Let's try again. Embed code. Okay, I'm going to click insert. Yeah, so you've got the banner, just put in the HTML code, and then you've got the banner. What we can do is we can just stretch on that. No, it won't go bigger than what it's supposed to be. Okay, so you've got different sizes with these affiliate programs. See if I can stretch it anymore. No. Just have to try and center it or something. Here's what it looks like in the inside here. Let's bring this over. You see, it's got different banners that you can use. You can just basically find. Now, this guy's good though, if you're interested in that kind of thing, like case studies and stuff. Don't waste your time on expensive courses. And if you want something that really does work, this guy's good. He's very good. He's not that well known yet. He does a lot of stuff on YouTube. You can find him on YouTube as well. Get a lot of information from his free stuff. But he's a real deal. Compared to 5,000 for Chris Lenny, I would definitely take this guy anytime. Much prefer that. And let's come back up. For the member area, let me see. Luckily, I had this open here. Okay, so here's the. Let me just check them in the right one. I've got 3 here. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I'll show you what I've got here. Because we're doing one a week, we've created this Google sheet, and I've got like a Medium page and the Google one and the next one, etc., etc. So I kind of mix them up there. So the download page for the Google sites is this page here. Okay, I'll put it into a reply to you on the questions, and that way you can get it. I can share it with everybody. There you go. You see, make sure that you follow the steps for the YouTube API and stuff like that. And for the webinar stuff, you can see from last week, I re-recorded, did part 3, part 4, etc. That's broken it down into different sections. The only thing I forgot to do here was to embed the Google slides. I will get that done this week. Okay, we can embed those Google sites for you. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's what we were talking about here for the checklist is here. Okay, so I'm going to put this into a Chrome extension that will look something like this, and you can check it off as you go along. Okay, but this is what's going to go into the Chrome extension. You can just basically enable the Chrome extension when you want, and you will have different steps. What I will do with the Chrome extension as well is we can embed videos in each category. So you can see this here is a category. This here is a category. You can embed videos in the category, so that can basically give you the instructions for each one of these. So you can see exactly what to do, okay? We don't have any pre-made templates for Google site pages as such, but you can copy what we do. Just play around with it. You can make really nice landing pages. You can see here, it's just more like content kind of thing. I would tidy that up. I would put a lot more work into that and make it more user-friendly. One thing I would definitely do with all of my pages is make sure that I've got at the top here, like I've done here, make sure you've got a section that is a call to action right at the top. Okay, you can put buttons, you can put hyperlinks, you can put video, etc., big headlines. So you've got that kind of area at the top, which is basically the header area. Then straight under the header, put your call to actions in here. Okay, and what you can do is once you've created that first part, you can save that, and then for any other page that you want to create, say for example you wanted to do like a mini site instead of just like one main home page that you want to get ranking, what you could do, say for the ClickFunnels example again, you could have like a seed page, let's call them seed pages for ClickFunnels pricing, and then you got another one for ClickFunnels affiliate program, you got another one for ClickFunnels templates, etc. Then you would have like 3 or 4 different seed pages. What I would do then is I would make this area here down to here. Once you got it down to here, then you can clone that. You can just duplicate that 3 more times or 4 more times and keep them there as saved as draft. Okay, that means that when you go to do any other sort of a seed page or category kind of page, then you can just use that, and you've already got your call to action there every single time. Okay, and the rest of it is just decisions in the way that you want to go along with this. The decisions could be that you want to make a product specific page, or you want to do a topic specific page. So whether that's going to be one product that you're promoting, or you're going to be promoting different products, or give yourself the flexibility for different products within the same subtopic, okay, like webinars or podcasting or anything like that. Can you add your keyword poker sites? Yeah, I would. Here's what I'm suggesting you do. Okay, is you create your homepage, a good one, right? And then you're going to use the same account for doing your keyword poking. Now, I think the key to this, personally, I think the key to this is that you're going to go for strategic keywords around subtopics to begin with. Going back to the ClickFunnels again, I keep coming back to that because I know it's something that you will be familiar with. But if we were doing for like a ClickFunnels affiliate, instead of like the guy did with the WordPress site where he had like 700 pages just blasting away with the same piece of content, the better way to do it would be to have one piece of content that you use for one sort of seed. You use it like a seed content where then you do your mass page building, linking back to that one page. So for example, here, you see this is for ClickFunnels. So I've got my main sort of page in here, but what I might have is one for ClickFunnels pricing, and I will have a piece of content just about ClickFunnels pricing, ClickFunnels trial, all those same kind of search intent kind of keywords. And that content will be targeting that. I might have about 30 or 40 different keywords to use for that. Okay, I don't need 500 keywords. I don't need 700 keywords for that one piece of content. I can make it more condensed. I can do it in a better way so that I'm targeting keywords that have got value. I'm targeting keywords that have already got some search volume or some traffic that we can, tap into, and we can just basically watch and see what happens once we start to do the backlinking, the indexing, and all the stuff that we're going to do there, the RSS stuff, etc. as well. Now, if you do that with the different subtopics, you can have a different piece of content with each, okay? And you can have less posts being done for each subtopic, but better quality targeting, better quality. Your content is going to be more congruent to what you're targeting with that subtopic. Okay, I think that's a better way to do it. It might take an extra step or two, but it's better quality, okay? And that relevancy can help you to keep your rankings when you get them as well. You can edit, yeah, Corey, you can edit your Google sites, but we can't do it with software. You have to sort of manually go and do that, okay? I think what we could do is maybe try and automate that. We could, now let me think about it. There might be a way that we could make a list of the pages created. We do that anyway. We make a list of the pages created, but there might be a way that we can get the software to go and delete any that's not ranking, for example. It's something I need to ask my developer if it's something that we can do. So for example, you have the rank checker within the software that if after you've done some backlinking and you've done some tracking, etc., that maybe if you just want to delete in bulk a whole bunch of them, there might be a way that we could do it. It would have to be done from the rank tracker. It's the only place we could do it from, probably. That way you can checkbox and think, okay, I'm not ranking for these. It's been 4 or 5 weeks. Just delete all of those and keep the ones that you're ranking for. It might be better to do it like that, so that you don't have the same amount, the same duplicate content all over the same site. You're just minimizing it, just better quality control. I'll ask. As in editing, you just go in like any other Google site. You just go in and you can do anything. Go into all of your pages here. You can see we've got insert. That's for the buttons and Google Drive embeds and YouTube and all that kind of stuff, table of contents, all of that. Do add a table of contents. If you've got long form content like this, then put in a table of contents, definitely. I would put in a table of contents. It always helps. It helps you to get rankings for your site links as well within Google. And themes you can choose, try and vary it up a little bit, but I would work on one at a time. And just put it, it's not a huge amount of effort. It's just doing some basic common sense kind of things, and get it to the point where you're driving traffic. And once you've got the traffic coming, it's a matter of getting the offer right, making sure that it's converting. Even the wording, small things like the wordings and stuff like that. I'm not sure what you mean, Carol. What was the site for the affiliate case studies analysis? Can you explain a little bit more? Okay, we'll come back to that. I can't remember. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but we can come back to it. Okay, so just going through this kind of stuff as well. You're going to see, but I've put in some multiple options. Now, this is not all to be checkboxed, okay? This is just to separate it and make it easier for you to sort of read and see, etc. You can checkbox if you want, but we will have the proper Google Chrome extension within a day or two. Okay, so some of the stuff in here as well is just to make sure that you're doing some best practices. Okay, make sure you put that announcement bar, make sure you're using your hyperlinks, but also making you think ahead of time, what will your call to actions be? Okay, so if you know what your goal is, you know what type of pages you're going to create, then the next thing is, what are my call to actions going to be? Okay, what is my homepage strategy going to be? Am I using Surf for SEO, or am I going to use a Google stack and fix it and put some call to action at the top? For example, I've got this, doesn't look nice, but this I did myself looks better. Maybe I can take this and add it onto here, that kind of thing. That's the kind of thing you need to think ahead of time, so that you just have your sort of workflow that you want to work and go for and put it up there. Okay. Everything is really easy. There's nothing hard. It's just when it comes to the off-page SEO, this is where we need to experiment a little bit. But we should be able to come through that in about 2 to 3 weeks with some very, very, very clear indication of what we need to do to get predictability with our rankings. Does the software show you CC YouTube videos only, or you have to check each video for your keyword? Closed captions, CC. I think you mean closed captions. No, you can put you can embed any video in there with the software. The software is just basically just 2 things you can do there. You can take videos that are already on YouTube by keyword search, or you can take video by URL, which is essentially what I think is the best way to do it. Okay, where you can embed your own video on all of those pages. Remember that rankings I just showed you for the, what is it, Crypto Suite? That's the one thing that is consistent, even though they took away the video views because we were using shitty proxies. But we still maintained our rankings. The only thing that didn't change with this is that this is embedded in a whole bunch of Google sites. This is actually embedded in a whole bunch of Google sites. So maybe Google Sites embeds is important. I don't know until we try it more. I don't know, but that's the one thing that's consistent, that never changed, and when it still maintained its rankings. Maybe it's got more to do with the Google site embeds than it is for the video views. I'm not sure. I'm guessing. But to answer your question, I would do this with one video that's your video. Okay. It can increase the views that you get on your video, and it's also just, you've got more control of the content when you do it like that. Okay, so if you're doing something like you're promoting a high ticket affiliate program, or you're doing what I want to do, the alternatives, I think I might do a series of alternatives, like alternatives to this one that costs 5,000, or that one that's costing 3,000 or something. Get better alternatives, stuff that can actually help people rather than, you know, stuff that's just going to earn a big affiliate commission but leave a lot of people not getting what they need if they're going to spend that kind of money. There's better solutions always. Like that course from Joey, that's a very, very good, his stuff is very, very good. It's real stuff. You can see over the shoulder every step of the way. Whereas the other guy, it's kind of theory kind of stuff. So when you've got the real stuff versus the theory, you've got a good way to promote that, and promote it with sort of integrity and honesty and like real belief that you actually know that this will work, that this is better for people and it's more affordable. In that situation, I want to make a video that's explaining that, and I want that video on every single page, rather than take 50 videos that basically is other people's videos that have got, you know, call to actions at the beginning and at the end. Most people now start the videos off by, if you stay to the end, I'm going to give you this, this, and this. That's going to take people straight off and into YouTube if you're embedding like that. Okay, so if you embed 50 of them, then you don't know if you're going to keep people on your page or not. Whereas if it's your own video, then it's got multiple advantages. So that's what I would do. If you switch on the closed captions on the video, it's going to show. I think that's what you meant. I'm not quite sure. Talk about someone dissected affiliate marketing. Oh, we're talking about Joey. This one, Powerhouse Affiliate. This guy. Yeah, I'll give you my affiliate link. Go and check it out. He's good. Joey is good. You can watch his free videos. You don't even need to buy it straight away. You can go to YouTube and watch his free affiliate, free YouTube videos, and you can see the quality just by watching that. Watch his videos on push traffic. It's really interesting. Really, really, really interesting. That can work very well with this as well. That's kind of where I want to go next with the Google site stuff. There's some affiliate networks that are more kind of cost per action and cost per more cost per lead probably that would work as well, where you could create, for example, something like this, but you could have maybe 3 or 4 different links, okay? And they will pay you if somebody's buying it. It might only be pennies, but if you've got enough traffic, it can build up. It can really build up. And what you can do is you can put 3 or 4 different offers, and you can drive traffic with the push traffic. And Joey covers that kind of stuff really well. And he's got some really good videos on YouTube, free videos that you can go and watch, about how he got like, I think something like 5,000 push traffic clicks for like a penny each or something like that, and how much money he made from it as well. And he will show you the whole system in the background and how he sets it up and all that kind of stuff, and take you step by step. Better than what you find on Warrior Plus. Even the free YouTube stuff is better most of the time than what you will find on Warrior Plus. These are the guys, you find a whole bunch of these guys on YouTube. There's multiple. I will do some kind of blog post on it one day when I get time, or probably a checklist. I don't really do blogging anymore. I make these checklists quicker and easier, and plus I get people to give me an email when they're there. I'll make a list of them. Joey's not the only one. There's a whole bunch of them in YouTube, but real people, they're not there for like the Warrior Plus stuff where they made up headlines and stuff like that. These are real people. There's several of them, good ones. That's the advantage of what I do with the bike. I go and do the bike run every day. So I'm like an hour and a half with the bicycle every single morning. So I'm passing my time listening to people like Joey on the bike. I'm picking up stuff, I'm learning stuff, and I'm trying to keep my weight down and stuff like that. But it's interesting. You can find some good ideas, some good strategies. I'm sure that we have built at least 2 tools from the stuff I've learned even in the past few weeks. I'm sure there's been at least 2 tools being created from that. And that's good because they're based on stuff that works. They're based on stuff that's actually getting results from people. Okay. I think that's all I really want to cover right now. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We will continue to do webinars. What I'm going to do is I will send you out some emails, probably tomorrow, I would imagine. We will put at the bottom of every email that comes out a link to where we've got the services. A link to any new services and any kind of announcements. We will always have that on every email down at the foot, okay? We will also put information there about any webinars that's coming up. Now, I used to do webinars quite often. like weekly, every week. I did this for about 2 years, a few years back. I don't know if I want to carry on doing every single week, because again, people get blind to it. It's better that we can do it maybe every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, where we can just come with really good high quality training, really good high quality content, something fresh, something new that you can benefit from. Okay, so I've got these first few launches that we're going to be doing first, and that will probably come with webinars for each one of those, and then I'm going to calm it down a little bit so that we can just come back every 2 weeks or 3 weeks with something really good, something new that is like training. Okay, that will include free training, something that you can learn from, stuff that I've learned myself or tested or got results from, and that way we can cover it much, much better. It doesn't get boring, it doesn't get saturated, you don't get blind to it, and I don't lose my energy as well, because I can burn out from this kind of stuff if we do too much of it. So that's what I would prefer to do. But if you keep an eye on your email, there's going to be more services coming out. We're working on those later, and those services will be good. I will include the information about the press releases. Check that out. That is really good. You cannot get that kind of quality press release without taking a membership with someone like Newswire. And the trouble with Newswire is if you pay like $300 for 10 press releases in that month, if you don't use them, you've lost them. Okay. This way we've got a way around it. Okay, we've finally found a way around it. But you do need to get your own writing done. But there's some people on Fiverr.com we can recommend that will get it done. You deal with them. All you're doing then, and especially for this is perfect for this. I would bet money that this is perfect for this, because I've used it on WordPress and it's worked like gangbusters. Okay, because we're getting all those referring domains. Many of them have got high domain authority as well. Okay, and we get Google News as well at the same time, and all of that linking to here, which is a Google property. They're not going to punish themselves if they don't punish WordPress. You see what I mean? They're not going to penalize themselves, I should say, not punish, if they don't penalize WordPress for that. And this is a good way to do it. That one thing can move the needle, and quite significantly. It doesn't cost a fiver, but nothing really does cost a fiver that works. So all you need to do, if you find what's working, then it's a matter of how much return can I get on my investment. If I do this, this, and this that gets me traffic, then how do I monetize that traffic? Okay, so you've got different parts of the equation. This is one of those things I think that can give us a major push in that direction. And it's so simple and so easy, because it's just one piece of content. You don't even need to write it yourself. Just get it done for you, send it off. You can write it yourself, but it might get rejected if you don't do it properly. So when we send it to the people that we buy from, they might send it back to us and say it's not formatted properly or something like that. Get someone who knows what they're doing with it, and life becomes easier for everybody. The emails always come from support@anthonyhayes.me. Okay, always, all my emails. Okay, it gives people a reply button. That's why I put it there. Okay, because people often will send emails that says no reply at. That's kind of useless for a lot of people. Most people try to click on a reply button. That's why we do it from there. Okay, that's the reason. That's the sole reason we do it from there. So if you need some help, you need some support, there's a link always to support in the emails. But if you click on reply button, it takes you straight there. Okay, so all of my emails that come out for the broadcast and promotions, or any updates that we're doing, anything like that, it will always come from support@anthonyhayes.me. Okay. All right, guys, I think that's all we need to cover right now. Okay, so we will continue to map out what's happening, and the results that we're getting. And as we're finding stuff out, then I can put those into emails. I can put them into checklists, and we can emphasize it on those product pages as well, those services pages, I should say, so that we've got a one-stop shop really for do this, and do that, and you should get this result. If we can get to that point, then we've got something really, really, really good. That is not just a time saver and sort of convenient, but if you've got that predictability, then it takes away that horrible feeling of not knowing if stuff is working, and you know, not knowing if you're wasting your time on something. If you've got something that we got case studies for that is working, that is real, then that's something we can all benefit from. All right, thanks. See you next time.